Pastor Noel Schoonmaker here at Second Baptist Church of Richmond with 5 minutes on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, also known as the Johannine Epistles. We begin with the question of authorship. The Johannine Epistles are formally anonymous, yet their style and substance are sufficiently similar to suggest a common author. In 2nd and 3rd John, the author is identified as the elder. Traditionally, authorship of all three writings has been ascribed to the Apostle John, the son of Zebedee, who is also frequently identified as the beloved disciple of John's Gospel. While it's quite possible that the Apostle John authored these letters, it's also possible that an elder in the early Johannine Christian community wrote them. There are multiple similarities between the Johannine Epistles and the Gospel of John. For example, Bible scholar Clifton Black identifies the following common themes: to know or walk in the truth, the command to love one another, and the idea of the joy of believers being complete. The style of the Johannine epistles is polemical, because the author is evidently disputing false teachers who are deceiving true believers. An adversarial tone is prominent at several junctures in the letters. For example, 1 John 2:22 says, "Who is the liar but the one who denies that Jesus is the Christ?" 1 John is the longest of the three epistles. It begins like this: "We declare to you what was from the beginning, what we have heard, what we have seen with our eyes, what we have looked at and touched with our hands concerning the word of life." The sensory language of hearing, seeing, and touching indicates that Jesus Christ was an actual human being, not a ghost or a phantasm. This was important to convey because the false teachers appear to have tended toward Docetism, the heretical belief that since Jesus was a divine figure, he only seemed human and only seemed to suffer. In reply, the author of 1 John continues to press the authentic humanity of Christ in 1 John 4:2-3. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God, and every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. As we turn our attention to 2 John, we see a similar dynamic in play. The letter of 2 John is addressed to the elect lady and her children, which could designate a female leader in the community, but more likely serves as a metaphor for the Christian congregation whose members are like children of the church. Verses 5-6 enjoin the recipients to love one another, which is the key ethical focus of all the Johannine epistles. But the tone turns contentious as the author addresses a problem with false teachers. 2 John verse 7 says, "Many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh." Again, the writer appears to be countering false teachers that tended toward Docetism, the belief that Jesus only seemed human. It was vital to challenge them because while Jesus is fully divine, he was also fully and authentically human. As John 1:14 says, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us." Let's finally turn our attention to 3 John. In 3 John, the elder writes to Gaius, the head of a household, who showed hospitality to Christian missionaries from the elder's community. The elder commends Gaius for his hospitality and for walking in the truth. He also encourages Gaius to send the missionaries on in a manner worthy of God, which suggests offering physical and financial resources in addition to hospitality. One passage with insight for contemporary Christians is 3 John 11. "Beloved, do not imitate what is evil, but imitate what is good." To some degree, we're all imitators of someone or something. The key is to imitate what is good, and the best approach is to imitate the love God demonstrates through Jesus Christ. As 1 John 4:16 says, "God is love. And those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them.